The Billabong brand was born in 1973 in Burleigh Heads in Australia, where it's still headquartered today. But now you can find Billabong in over 100 countries around the world. Our sales revenues are in the vicinity of around 1.7 billion US dollars, and we deal with around about 11,000 doors around the world. It's very important to sustain yourself in business with a healthy level of profitability. It's not what completely drives our company, but ultimately it allows us to go out and invest in communities, invest in our products, invest in our people, and that's a key part of our strategy moving forward. When we look at our market, our key target market is really 12 to 23 years of age. We understand that we can send them positive messages within the community that we deal in. We feel like we have a responsibility. We can talk to them in ways that, frankly, governments would struggle to talk to them in. So we have a voice into those kids, and with that we have the ability to influence. Now, of course, with the ability to influence, we have to have responsibility, and therefore we have to make sure we're doing the right thing. When I became CEO in 2003, I really took a view that we need to look at all the business practices inside, whether it was in the supply chain or the workplace environment, whether it was within our products. So we began collaborating with the supplier to develop nylon made out of recycled plastic bottles. Today, virtually all of our board shorts worldwide are done in the recycled bottle program, and to date we're somewhere around 40 million bottles, plastic bottles, that have been recycled. We began to look across the world for what was the highest standards that we could find, particularly in the supply chain. We started working with Social Accountability International, SAI, and really check right through the supply chain and give us an immediate understanding of how our supply chain looked, and that was the first step. Now, as we said, SA 8000 was pretty much the highest standard that we could find, and it's not easy for all the suppliers to adapt to. It's not a cheap process, and it can take quite a bit of time. The fact is that it's an education process for the supplier, and in a lot of respects we brought that education process to them. As we indicated, it's not easy. Corrective action plans are put in place for suppliers that can't conform immediately, and not all the suppliers have been able to get there, and we've had to say goodbye to some of them. We're also a very strong supporter of Surf Aid International. Surf Aid International was set up by the founder, Dr. Dave Jenkins, who went up into the Mentawai Islands area of Indonesia and just saw malaria and health problems on a significant scale. Dave came to the surf industry and asked for help, and we signed up very, very early in the program. We've now been working for close to 10 years with Surf Aid International, and we've seen during that time very close to the eradication of malaria in that area, and a significant rise in the general overall health of children in the Mentawais, particularly the 0 to 5 age group. So as an extension of the Surf Aid program, we became involved in a project to go and educate kids out in schools. And a big part of it as well has been teaching the concept of global citizenship to these kids. We developed projects with the education department to develop a program where kids could study about the problems up in the Mentawais and begin to try and work out not only an understanding of those problems, but potentially to working towards a solution. The association with Billabong actually allows those kids to get interested in it right from the start. And the teachers tell us that that association brings a lot more kids into the program initially, and then they run with it and the education process takes over. This program has now been picked up in schools in New Zealand, in California, and is soon to spread into Europe, particularly in France and to the UK. And we're very proud of the work we do with Surf Aid in this program. Across our group, with the number of the brands involved in our group, we have a lot of local community aspects as well. In the US, the Elemental Awareness Skate Camps are a great way to introduce kids not only to skating, but take them out and giving them an understanding of environmental issues. Also in the US with the Ruka brand, our Artist Network program, which support developing artists. As well as that, we also have with our event program, recently we had the Jeffreys Bay contest in South Africa. We won an award from the South African government for our greening process through that event, so we're very proud of that as well. We're also behind a number of our athletes and some of their campaigns, particularly David Rastovich, who's very well known in the surfing world. Dave's an anti-whaling crusader. He does fantastic work, and we're very proud of the work that he does around the world to make people aware of the issues around whaling and also dolphin conservation as well. Our heritage is in surf, and surfing's a healthy sport. Spending time on the beach gives you an understanding of things like pollution in the water, beach conservation. Surfers have always been very much environmentally aware. We want to make sure we respect that, and the whole industry in general that we operate in, the whole surf industry, has always been very much environmentally aware. So it's really nice to be noticed, and I think our staff will get a lot out of it. We know we're not perfect, and we know we've still got a long way to go, but I feel that definitely as a company we can continue to drive forward from here, and I'm really looking forward to the challenge.